He does have a point.
There are not many players who can say that they succeeded at getting on the nerves of one of the greatest tennis players of all time, Rafael Nadal. But there are actually 5 such players who did make the Spanish legend angry and might have paid the price for it as well. Nadal is usually known for his calm and composed demeanor on the court, so the fact that he has actually gotten angry at some players is not easy to believe or digest. So, without any further ado, let's take a look at 5 such players who got under Rafa's skin during his incredible career. Number 5. Versus Nick Kyrgios, Australian Open 2020. It all started in 2019, when after losing to Nadal at Wimbledon, Kyrgios called Nadal super salty in a podcast interview, accusing him of being a poor sport and lacking humility.
Do you regret not apologising for hitting him with the ball in the third set?
Why would I apologise?
Kyrgios also criticized Nadal's slow pace between points, which had previously irritated him during matches. Their rivalry reached a bitter point and was at an all-time high when the two met in the 4th round of the 2020 Australian Open. While Kyrgios was playing in front of a home crowd and brought his usual flair and unpredictability, Nadal maintained his composure and focus, and won the match in a closely contested 4-set battle, 6-3, 3, 6-7, 6-7, 6, after nearly 4 hours of high-intensity tennis. Despite the provocations, Nadal's superior mental toughness and tactical discipline prevailed. After the game, the Spaniard abstained from engaging in a war of words with Kyrgios, but subtly threw shade at Kyrgios' antics by emphasizing the importance of respecting the sport and opponents.
Do you like Nick Kyrgios? Do you get on with him?
Of course, when he does stuff that, in my opinion, is not good, I don't like.
Number 4. Versus Fabio Fognini, 2015 Hamburg Open. 9 years ago, in the 2015 Hamburg final, Rafael Nadal faced Fabio Fognini, a player known for his unpredictable and fiery temperament. The match became particularly tense during a changeover in the 2nd set when Fognini confronted Nadal, accusing him of slowing down the pace of play, which disrupted his rhythm on serve. Fognini was literally barking at Nadal in frustration, which was a sight rarely seen even in competitive tennis.
Conmigo, siempre lo mismo hace, siempre lo mismo. Yo le dije antes cuando yo sacaba.
And you might think that Nadal remained calm and composed after his confrontation with Fognini, right? But he went on to respond by gesturing for Fognini to back off, making it clear he was unfazed by the Italian's outburst. Instead of engaging further in the confrontation, Nadal channeled his focus into the match. From that point on, Nadal's performance improved significantly. He didn't lose another game and broke Fognini's serve to secure a 7-5, 7-5 victory, earning his 47th career clay court title. Legendary, right? The match ended with a notably cold handshake at the net, reflecting the lingering tension. Number 3. Versus Gael Monfils, Madrid Open 2018. Remember the 2018 Madrid Open round of 32 match between Rafael Nadal and Gael Monfils? It was a dominant display from Nadal, but featured a brief moment of tension. Monfils, known for his athleticism and flair, grew visibly frustrated during the match, particularly with some close line calls and the umpire's decisions. At one point, Monfils engaged in a brief argument, voicing his displeasure about a disputed call, which interrupted the flow of the match. And what did Nadal do? As usual, he remained calm and composed, and did not let the discussion between Monfils and the referee affect his flow and rhythm at all. From that moment, Nadal dismantled Monfils with his trademark heavy topspin forehands and relentless baseline play, forcing errors from the Frenchman. The final score, 6-3, 6-1, highlighted Nadal's dominance on clay and extended his record of consecutive sets won on the surface to 48, bringing him closer to John McEnroe's 1984 record of 49 consecutive sets won on a single surface. Number 2. Versus Gaston Gaudio, 2005 Monte Carlo. The 2005 Monte Carlo Masters quarterfinal between Rafael Nadal and Gaston Gaudio was a significant moment in Nadal's rise to prominence on clay. At the time, Nadal was just 18 years old, facing Gaudio, the reigning French Open champion and one of the top clay court players. The match became heated due to a tense exchange over a line call and the intensity of both players during the high-stakes encounter. Gaudio felt Nadal was making faces at him and was visibly irritated by this, telling the Spanish youngster not to play stupid. Even though Nadal did not respond with words and said that he didn't do anything, Gaudio had no idea what was coming. Nadal showcased his emerging dominance on clay, dismantling Gaudio in straight sets, 6-3, 6-0. This victory was particularly impressive given Gaudio's status as a top 10 player and reigning Grand Slam champion on the surface. Nadal's performance in this match was a critical step in his path to claiming his first Masters 1000 title later that week by defeating Guillermo Coria in the final. Number 1 versus Tomas Berdych, 2006 Madrid Open. At their infamous clash in the 2006 Madrid Open quarterfinal, Tomas Berdych silenced the home crowd following his win. After his victory, Berdych made a shushing gesture to the hostile Spanish crowd, which led Nadal to express his displeasure during their post-match handshake, calling Berdych very bad. This incident added tension to their rivalry, but from that moment on, Nadal had his objective set, which was to dominate Berdych whenever they met. And that is exactly what happened. Nadal outclassed Berdych on grass in the quarterfinals at Wimbledon in 2007, avenging the Madrid loss, and continuing his quest for his first Wimbledon title, which he eventually won in 2008. He also won the 2010 Wimbledon final, the 2012 Australian Open quarterfinal, and the 2015 Madrid Open semifinal against the Czech player. In fact, Nadal leads their head-to-head 20-5, with the majority of his victories coming after the 2006 incident. This only goes to prove one thing.
I like challenges, but I'm not stupid.
Don't mess with Nadal.